DRT baits have landed in Australia. In this video, we're going to go over my experience with the baits, the different ways you can fish the baits with different lips and tails in regards to the K9, the Tiny Clash and the Joker, and also go over why these are the most unique and versatile lures we've seen hit our shores.
Oh, yep. Got a cod. Got him.
Quality river fish, he's another 700. He's behind it.
Got him.
That is a cracker. Man. It's been a while between river meteries, but that one's definitely over. Okay guys, DRT is a Japanese brand that's been around for a fair while. It's a brand that I've been super keen on and intrigued by ever since I started getting into the swim bait scene for Murray cod in impoundments, probably back in 2017, 2018. I went really hard on the impoundments over a number of years back then, what I would call the golden years, when places like Copeton and that was starting to really pop off. Had a lot of fun doing it, and from there I started to really gravitate to the swim bait scene, the garage market over in the US, which in turn led me to find the DRT baits, which are a Japanese brand, very high quality made lure. Originally, when I first stumbled across these baits, the lure that I was intrigued by and was seen a lot on was what they call the Clash 9 or the K9, which is the first ever swim bait that DRT released in this hard bait category, I believe. Obviously it's a 9-inch glide bait slash crankdown, super versatile lure, and from that they've expanded to the Tiny Clash, which is a 6.6-inch little brother to the K9, basically fishes the exact same. Then they've got the Joker, which is a wide body topwater lure, and they've also got the Ghost and the Frenzy, but I don't have any of those. I've fished myself the Tiny Clash a lot, which I refer to as the TK. I've had a lot of success on it, especially over the last 12 months on the Murray cod in the rivers down my way, the K9 and the Joker. Now we know when it comes to Japanese products, they're the top when it comes to innovation and quality. Doesn't matter what they do in the manufacturing space, they're always at the top, and these lures are no different. They're a cool backstory. They're just a sick bait to fish. When you can get right around the bait itself, it's not just another mass-produced swim bait in a Chinese factory. These things are made with care. They're hard to get, and I think that scarcity also is a real appeal. Once you can get your hands on one of these lures, it's just a different feeling when you're throwing it, and you really can learn how to fish that bait, and the different aspects of fishing it can allow you to do. So you know, I'm a sucker for, I've got a whole wall of different swim baits, but over the last sort of 12 to 24 months since I've been buying these lures, yeah, I found myself really just focusing in on fishing these and learning them, and I've been having some great results. Now the reason I'm sitting down doing this video today is because these DRT baits are finally being released or available in Australia. Now there has been a few places over the years in Australia have a few DRT lures that they've sold. It's been very few and far between, but now Bait Religion is going to be importing them from Japan, from the guys at DRT, and distribute them here in Australia under DRT Australia and the Bait Religion website. So once you see this video, these lures will be dropping over on the Bait Religion site, so you can go over and check them out there. It's my belief that this first run is going to be a small batch, but there's going to be ongoing drops of DRT lures on the Bait Religion site going forward, which is really cool because, you know, myself starting to get these baits over the years and collect them, it's been really hard to find. They are a scarce bait. whenever anyone drops them overseas, they sell out like that. So they're super hard to get your hands on, and I've worked really hard to get them. Paid some crazy prices, the black market on eBay and different forum sites where you can buy them. Crazy prices. But they're a cool lure, and I was happy to pay that money and get to use the baits. I pay, yeah, you don't want to know how much money I've spent on some of these lures over the years. Now that Bait Religion is going to be distributing them, the prices that they are selling for on that website is, yeah, pretty bloody reasonable. So make sure you check them out. Now, as I said, these baits, the cool thing about these baits is the whole branding around them, but especially the versatility that they offer. In one lure, you can basically get sort of 4 or 5 different lures in one by changing both the lips and the tails. So you can see here, I have got a tiny clash, the tails removed, and the bibs removed. So you can get different bibs to suit, and you can get different tails. You've got your original tail, and then you've got a V tail, which is that. And with those different tails, you get different actions. You'll also get a different action if you turn that original tail upside down, like so. So what I've done is I've actually gone round to the pool, and I've basically put some casts in so I can try and show you guys what the action of some of these baits is like. It's not completely accurate, you know, these are off a short pitch cast. The more line you get out with one of these lures, the better the action will be, but this will give you some idea. So we'll start with the K9 in its original mode. So original comes with your original lip, and it comes with the original tail in the upright position, so pointing up, which is what they consider mode A. So if that tail is in the upward position, it's mode A, and if that tail is flipped over and pointing down, you'll understand when you see the baits in person, that is mode B. So here's the original tail. You can see how that's pointing up, and then which is mode A, and if we just pop that out and then turn around and pop it back in, you can sort of see how that's pointing down. That's mode B. For me personally, I like to fish all these, the K9 and the TK, I like to fish them in mode A whenever I'm using a bib, or if I'm not using a bib, I like to fish them in mode B. So just remember that. But here's the action on that mode A original lip in the K9. Next up, we've got the same lure, the K9 mode A with the tail and a deep bib. So with that original bib, you're probably going to get down around that 1 to 2 meter mark on a slow crank. When you go to this deep bib, you can get it down to 3 to 4 meters, so it can get right down there. When you've got this deep bib in, it's going to be it's a real wide action. You can really feel it through the rod. Great action, nice wide action, kind of fishes similar to a big hard body lure. Lastly, we've got the K9 with a V tail on it, and then with a YTMK bib, which is very similar to the roll bib. And what this is going to give you is a super wobbly action. So if you've got the original tail on, you're going to get a lot of side to side action like so. Whereas if you've got the V tail in, you're going to get more body roll like this. So changing from the original tail to the V tail, yeah, it really changes the action. One's a body roll like that, and the other's a wide action like a hard body lure. So that body wobble is really cool and really unique. And then the last mode that I like to fish this K9 on with, and it's probably my favourite and one I'll be using a lot in the upcoming winter season, is lip completely out, tail down, which is mode B. And what this will give you is basically a glide bait, a really erratic glide, basically just under the surface to the surface of the water. Really unique. Never said it, yeah, you can get it to really drift out. Super unique and unpredictable. I think it's going to be a real killer this winter. Okay, we'll move across to the Tiny Clash. Now the Tiny Clash has been by far my most successful lure. I've caught a lot of Murray cod on this lure over the last 12 months in particular. This one here in particular, this colour's called Queen. If you've watched my previous videos, you would have noticed this one pop up a fair bit. There's some deep teeth marks in that. It's been absolutely clobbered. Caught meteries on it, caught plenty of really good fish. And it's all been in the original action, which is mode A with the original Tiny Clash lip, which is also called the long lip. Super nice action. You can crank it quickly and it'll get down to sort of 1 to 2 meters, and like it will not blow out on you. Super nice. Or you can dead slow wind it, and if you dead slow, you cannot wind it slow enough, and it still has a great side to side action. That's what I was doing last winter. Had a lot of success doing that. The short lip for the Tiny Clash, it's just a much smaller lip than the original. Again with that tail up in mode A. Basically very similar action to the original lip, but it's just going to run a little bit shallower. So we're talking sort of 1/2 meter to 1 meter max with this bib. The wide lip. So the wide lip, much bigger again, and this is going to get you lured right down to that 2, 3, even 4 meter mark. You can really crank it. You know, if I was out west fishing those dirty high flow rivers, this is the type of setup I'd run. Again, mode A with that tail. You can crank it down, not going to blow out on you. Basically fishes very similar to any of your sort of Aussie made hard body lures, but just a different profile and a little bit different action. One of the cool things is with this wide lip is if you pull it out and turn it around, pop it back in, and it's basically pointing straight down. You turn this Tiny Clash into a wake bait, and we can see here that lure just waking across the surface. Super cool. Then we've got our V-tail. Here's an example here. I like to fish this V-tail with the short lip. They do this in Japan a lot. Super effective for their largemouth bass over there. And just a slow wind in, doesn't go very deep, and you just get that side to side wobble on the lure. Super unique action. You do not see many lures doing this. Now the original tails are a hard plastic, so they're really easy to get in, but the V-tails are a real soft plastic, so they take a little bit more work. Just when you're doing it, push it in, and what I like to do is get like a pair of scissors or something like that, and just sort of work it in that groove until it sort of pops into place. Can be a little bit fiddly, but once you get it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then lastly, for the Tiny Clash, we're going to pop that bib out. We're going to flip that tail over to mode B. And then we've got our super erratic glide bait on the surface. This is my going to be my go-to action for the flathead. If you have a look at that profile, that 6.6 inch profile of the Tiny Clash, that just screams potty mullet to me, or small whiting. I have caught a few small flathead on this so far, but I'm really looking forward to getting back to the salt over on that high tide over the flats and putting this out there in that mode B. Super unique, cool action, gonna get eaten. You can just pop, and just let it sit there. Floodies, the big girls aren't going to be able to resist it. Real quick one, when you're popping the bibs in and out with these lures, just be super careful. If you just start reefing it, you can actually break them. They come with 3 teeth. So just be careful, and just what you want to do is just pop it, just work it side to side, and then sort of just bend it around. It'll just pop out like that. And you can see it's just got 3 teeth on it. And then you just, when you're putting them back in, just sort of go easy with it and it'll pop into place like that. So just don't start reefing it or you can break the bibs. And then the last lure that we're going to look at is the Joker. The Joker is a topwater lure. It uses the same bib as the Clash 9 wide lip. So if you got a couple of wide lips for your K9, it'll fit the Joker. So again, they pop out, but it's basically the only lip that you run in the Joker. The tails, it's a Joker down tail that I like to run. You can run a tiny Clash V-tail in it if you happen to lose it and you don't have a spare or something happens to that tail. Super, super unique topwater bait. I've been using it a lot to start this season, had some really good success with it. It's got a rattle. These ones have a rattle that I've got. Really tingy ball bearing rattle. Yeah, it's something different. You don't hear anything like that in a topwater lure. I think it's cool, but they also do a silent version. So I've been running the loud ball bearing version, but you can get it in a silent as well. Super unique action. Yeah, killer bait, really killer bait, really love them. Basically going to be my only topwater lure I fish for Murray cod this season. I can't see myself throwing anything else. That's the 3 lures that I have experience fishing with and am confident to throw. Basically what you want to do if you are going to pick up one of these baits is you definitely want to get some spare bibs and at least one spare tail. So the spare bibs, no matter if it's the original, the shorts, the longs, the wides, or the YTMKs, they come in packs of 2, and just pick yourself up some, because it's inevitable that with a bait that's so versatile and you can pop them in and out, if you do cast into rocks or into a tree or something, that bib can pop out. And I have had it happen to me before, but they're cheap as chips to replace, so just pick up a pack. Spare tail, I've never lost a tail before, but always handy just to have a spare one in case something happens, and also handy to have, so you'll get the original tail on the bait, pick up a V-tail so you can just change that action on the spot. So here I've got a tackle box set up with a variety of different bibs to suit the K9 and the TK, also the Joker, and of course a heap of different tails. Now obviously you don't need this many, I've sort of collected a lot over the years, but it's definitely handy to pick a couple up in case you pop one out in the water or you want to change the action, which is one of the most unique things about this lure, its versatility, because you can get so many different actions with just these accessories. Now this has been a really quick overview of the baits. I'd suggest if you want to learn a bit more, you could jump in, do a YouTube search on whatever lure you want to look at, and there'll be plenty of information out there on them. They're pretty used worldwide these days, especially over in America. So there's plenty of great content out there if you want to learn a bit more. Just quickly want to talk about the DRT Shark trebles as well that are going to be available through Bait Religion. 3 sizes, 2.0, 1.0 and 1, which are perfect for Murray cod. What's super unique about these is the barb of the hook is actually on the outside of the hook, not the inside, so something I've never seen before. What that's designed to do is when you're casting, you know how your line often can get caught in your trebles, ruins your cast. With that barb being on the outside of the treble, it basically eliminates that, because the line will just be free and come straight back out. So super unique. They're a Ryugi treble, so good quality, Japanese quality, and personally I haven't used them yet, but just from looking at them, they are super solid, super sticky sharp, and I'm going to be very confident to use them, and I'm looking forward to using them. So I've been looking for a good treble to use for forever now, and I still can't settle on the perfect treble, so they might just be it. Here is this Joker. This Joker's actually got those shark trebles on it. Now I don't know how well that's going to be picked up with that camera, but you can see that barb is on the outside of the hook. They're a straight point hook, super sticky, bit longer than most brands I've seen, but yeah, they look super strong. Gonna be killer. Right guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Make sure you jump over to Bait Religion, check out the baits, super unique. Yeah, really cool lures. I can't recommend them enough. If you've got any questions about them, drop them down in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you do jump on the Bait Religion site and they're sold out, hang in there because there will be more coming down the track, so hopefully not too far away. So just one of these things, when they come, everyone wants them, so they do sell out quite often. Don't know how they're going to go in the Australian market just yet, but yeah, I can't see why they wouldn't sell really well. For me, they've been a great Murray cod lure, but I can see them being super effective. Flathead, jewfish, bass. I'm looking forward to fishing for bass on the Tiny Clash, barramundi, the list goes on. So yeah, check them out guys. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.